Hello, everybody. It is Corey from Thought Soldiers. So, wanted to do a little March update. It's mid-March. We made it. We're gonna keep making it, right? So, anyways, February. February was crazy. Definitely a rapid ascension month. Like one of those where there was a lot of learning, a lot of healing, a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, a lot of fine-tuning our self-mastery, a lot of huge awareness of the patterns of relationships that come into our lives, the way we treat other people, the way we treat ourselves, and ways to fine-tune that better, and to really hone in into our craft and into our skill, and a whole new level of expansion. It felt like such a fast month with growth and with healing and with lessons, and some of them extremely painful and extremely dark. I know the deepest depths of my shadow were encountered in February, which brought about this huge balance for me, and this huge polarizing effect of like so deep into the shadow to so embraced in the light, and really having to integrate and stitch those two together and really embrace the shadow. So March now that we are at March 12th, 2019, what's been going on? So for me, I was offline for not like offline on YouTube or anything like that. I'm talking like offline, spiritually offline for upgrades. Mine finally came about on March 10th. Yeah, March 10th is when I kind of came back online. And a few of my friends that are on this light worker journey, on this ascension path, felt like they were offline. They felt human again. And it sucked. It really, really sucked being human again. It was nice though, having a little like energetic vacation, spiritual vacation. And really, I feel like this time was a lot of implementation and letting the things flow through us and taking these huge lessons from February and to apply them and to take a break and relax. Me and my good friend Jen, she's from Northern California, I'm from Southern California. We both went offline on the same time, and we were both on like little like vacation breaks. I had San Diego Yoga Festival and a lot of just really nice downtime spent with friends, growing, making new relationships, and really just like enjoying where I was at. Like it's like that plateau point where you get to the top of the mountain and you just enjoy the view. That's what it felt like. It felt like March was so fast that once we got to the top of the mountain, we were, Spirit just gave us a chance to just enjoy and take a deep breath and really embrace what we were going on to. And then the new frontier started and the new adventures. I know for me, I'm on a new frontier now, in 100% service to the universe and 100% service to my peoples. And it's scary, how we're going to make it, but I've got enough proof in the pudding over the course of my life that it's going to work out, whatever it is, and I have faith that the right doors will open that will lead me in the right direction. So as we were offline for these upgrades, a lot of our abilities were kind of shut off. I know mine were. No clairvoyance, no messages, no downloads, just very quiet, and that silence was tough, but it was really nice though too. It was a nice little break. I came back online, or noticed that I started to come back online on March 10th. I did a clearing session with the wonderful Samantha Rodriguez, and I got to, she now does this thing where she calls in a higher vibrational entity to give us a gift. And so I was sitting in meditation, and the gift, I got a visit from Archangel Uriel. And he brought me a red book, a big red notebook, for what's going on with me in my life right now, which was a very large download that I've been slowly unpacking, and just this reminder that it is okay to ask for help on our journey, and to ask for guidance. I know being in the masculine role, and so for me, wanting to be fully self-supporting and fully self-sustaining, there are times I won't ask for help from people. Or guidance, because I figure like, I'm a man, I need to figure everything out on my own. Not true. This growth and expansion, and when we are leveling up into new areas of our lives, it is okay to ask for guidance and to ask for help, and to also ask for gifts from Spirit. So, I had Uriel show up, and he gave me this big red notebook, and I didn't know too much about Archangel Uriel until I till I read up on who he serves and what his purpose is. And that the color red in that notebook meant a lot, especially since I've got red books everywhere. And he told me to manifest. And so with that, with this download that I got, now that I'm back online, I'm now starting to step into a new level of expansion where I'm letting other avenues open up as far as learning new methods of working with energy, things like that. So what's going on is that since we've kind of hit this plateau period and we're starting a new frontier and ready to level up, there may be a call for us to take a slightly different path for our spirituality and for what our purpose is and what we are trying to accomplish and what to do. And so now I'm doing that, actually, starting to seek out new ways to be able to work with energy, more relying on external energy, while the Lightworker journey is a lot of holding our internal energy and healing with our internal energy. I'm now just starting to learn how to use external energy for our favor and be able to manipulate it and move it around as such. So that's the big call. And you know what the thing is that, like, so for me, there are certain modalities that when I think about or I get guided to, my heart chakra will blink up and my vibration will increase and I'll just feel it. But I still have an old 3D program mind of, like, this is X, Y, or Z. It's good, it's bad, whatever. That is an old paradigm programming of certain belief structures and looking into certain things. Listen to your intuition. Be careful to not let this thing take control, because as we are stepping into our mastery and stepping into our power, this is still working in conjunction with this, but what we have to listen to is our heart and listen to our higher self, because that is going to lead us in the direction of what is going to best serve us to be able to best serve humanity, and to, you know, whether we're a way shower, a grid worker, if we are doing blueprint stuff, so on and so forth. That may be one option as far as really expanding your multidimensionality and how to work with energies and how to access energies, is by stepping into different spiritual modalities. So if you find yourself being pulled in a direction and your mind is like, why am I being pulled here? Why am I doing this? Just let it be. Get into the flow state, surrender, and know that it is for your highest good, and there's something really important to be learned in there. So another thing too is that a lot of us are getting pulled into old cycles again. And a lot of these old cycles are popping up from, like, December. I know for me, I have cycles from December and even pre-December, stuff from back in July, even earlier than that, like 7-year, 8-year cycle stuff that is popping up. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I learned all this. Why is this happening right now? Well, because here's the thing, is that if we only learn 96% of the cycle, the universe isn't going to gift us the extra 4% of that cycle. We got to go through that cycle again and to go through it and to learn. But here's what's really neat now, is that a lot of us are I would say a lot of us are at a level of mastery now where these cycles that used to take about a month to 2 months to play out before we were like, oh shit, and then everything hits the fan, rapid now. I've had cycles that started to create again, that were created within an hour or 2 hours that normally would have taken 2 or 3 months before. And I saw what was going on, and I was like, well, okay, I'm aware of this, and I put a halt on it. And the decision that I make when these cycles start to happen is to make no decision at all. And that's the best thing to do. And to be aware that, like, if you're like, wait a minute, why is this popping up again? Well, it might be popping up because, once again, you got to learn a little bit more from it. But as long as you're aware that it's a lesson that's being tied into it, which all of this are life lessons. Like, I feel like this journey is just one gigantic life lesson. But these lessons, and especially if they're coming in the form of relationships, or if they're coming in the form of something it just doesn't serve you anymore, just see it out, play the tape out. It's a lesson, and just let it ride out. Because right now, it's that preparation. It's that preparation for everything you want and everything you need and everything you desire. But not only that, keep this in mind. Is that if old cycles are popping up or strange things are happening in your life or you're having weird tower moments, remember, not only are you the one consciously creating, but someone just might be consciously creating you. Someone might be manifesting you for what they want in their life. So, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a family member wanting you back in their life, or even a company, or your dream job. Remember that. We've got a lot of conscious creators out there that are using manifestation on a day-to-day basis. And what they're trying to manifest, it's not like It's not like they're sitting there like, well, I want Corey McKinnon in my life, ... It's not that. It's that you might be the perfect vibrational match for what they're seeking, whether it be, someone to help guide them on their journey, a healer, if they need an employee on their company, or if they want to start a business with someone, or even if it's like a relationship. If you never know when your twin flame or your soulmate is calling you in and you're like, why are these cycles happening right now? Why is this all going on? Well, remember, you're not the only one that's consciously creating. There may be other people that are trying to consciously bring you into their lives, and they don't know it either. It's just the way the energetic pull and the orchestration of the universe goes. So keep that in mind. So I wanted to talk about that who's manifesting us? We never know. And so to let things take the course, because it may be pulling us in a direction that we don't necessarily understand, but it may be perfect for us, for where we're supposed to be on our journey and what we're stepping into. And when these old cycles are popping up right now, what's really neat is that we've gotten to a level of expansion and growth where we see these cycles from a new set of eyes. So it's no longer seeing things from the old paradigm. It's now seeing things with the new eyes, the eyes that still have that knowledge from these cycles playing out and how we turn them into wisdom for ourselves through practical action. And we're seeing things from these new eyes, which is this higher dimensional consciousness, a more expanded version of ourselves. What's really neat to keep in mind is then we can start to see how far we've come along on our journey in such a short amount of time. Because I know for me, these cycles that are popping up from like November, December, back to July, I now see them with my eyes today, and I get a quick glimpse back of where I was at then, and I go, wow, look at how far I've come. And so don't look so much at how this cycle is playing out again, but look at where you're at and feel empowered and feel good that you are seeing it with these eyes today and this level of awareness, and try not to judge yourself for it. I know for me, I have old habits that are popping back into play that are things for me that I thought I outgrew, including diet and stuff like that, and just weird behaviors that we all have, our own little human quirks. But I'm being mindful of the fact that, these things aren't going to be in my life for permanently. Every step on this journey isn't set in stone. There are little side paths we have to take for a week or two sometimes to come back in, to step into our path and our purpose. And the faster we pull back and learn that lesson, the more expedited the process is. But also too is that there's a huge reward at the end of every one of these lessons. Every time I've had a learning lesson, or an old cycle playing out, there's always been a huge reward. There's always been a huge gift at the end of it. And so be mindful of that too, is look at these cycles play out, and when you stood up for yourself or you felt empowered, what was the gift that you received as a result of that lesson? And just note now that when this lesson is replaying out again, there's going to be even a more grander prize at the end of that lesson. Because that's the way that divinity shows us that we're on the right path. Is it blesses us on a day-to-day basis, and being able to look at these cycles as blessings, because it's awareness is all it is. It's awareness, it's learning, it's growth, it's expansion, and it's a part of that process. And so once again, as we're at the top of this mountain enjoying the view of our level of mastery and where we've come to in our journey, that view is not only of the mountain that we just traversed, but it's also of the new mountains ahead. And so look at both and look at where you're at, and be proud of where you're at on your journey, and the fact that you made it to this mountaintop, and that you're about to just hop onto a new mountain and to start a new journey, if that's something that's going on for you. Because that's definitely something for me. Is I'm closing out right now, and I'm closing doors, and I'm very excited to see what the universe has to offer in store. And one quick thing I wanted to say about these new mountains and these new paths that we start to step on is that do not undermine the small, unimportant door, or so it seems to you, because that's where the treasure may lay. So right now I have a lot of opportunities opening up that seem very, like, on paper they're small. They're not huge. It's not like this gigantic blessing. But I feel it right here. I feel it in my soul that my gold lies behind that door, or at least one puzzle piece of this gold that I'm trying to construct for myself, which is the core essence of Corey and living out my mission. So these little, small, unsuspecting doors, I ask that you shut this off and really tune into your heart and your intuition, and to see how it feels when you think about walking through this door, because that's where destiny may lie, and we're unaware of it. So really cool, a lot of cool stuff going on. Definitely feel so much more at peace in so far, now that we're about mid-March, with the month of March. Definitely it feels like it's like all of this growth from the beginning of the new year until now is really being applied practically into my life. And I'm seeing things with new eyes, and I'm really stepping to the essence of Corey, and really coming into union with the balance of the feminine and the masculine, and stepping into my own and enjoying it and embracing who I am as a person, and continuing to shed those masks, and integrating even older aspects of ourselves. Because that's another quick thing I wanted to bring up, is that right now too, we may have some older aspects of ourselves that we didn't like, that we're now bringing forward into the now moment, that play an extremely important piece in the creation of our core essence. So that's another thing, is I have some old high school confidence coming back right now, and that childlike fun and wonder, and just feeling so sure about myself, that's coming back into play. And so that's something I had to consciously reach in the past and bring forward, because there's a level of that identity that is going to bring about a newfound strength for Corey to continue on his path and to walk. And that's going to be adding in those old cycles too, is that as we are reaching back sometimes for that teenage self, or that stage in our life where we were our most apt or whatever, when we are pulling those aspects forward into our reality to integrate, sometimes old cycles may pop up from those eras as well. And that's something that's going on, is there's old patterns, old behaviors that are popping up, and it's kind of like learning what to cancel out and what to keep, that is going to be integrated into the now presence, and the creation of who we are as we step into our destiny, and further expand and further evolve, and really start to shine. So that's all I got, guys. Much love and respect to everybody out in the Webiverse. If you haven't, click subscribe. Could greatly appreciate it. If you want to reach out, email me, CoreyMacLite, Lite, 33@gmail.com. There's going to be a link in the description box. Also have my link to my appointment calendar in the description box. I'm going to be doing 30-minute Reiki sessions that are 100% donation. So just to kind of bring in clientele and to be of service more, because things have been really quiet lately, I'm going to open that up. So whatever you want to donate, 30-minute Reiki sessions, get on it, because it would be great to chat with you, to expand, and to better help anyone with any level of healing that they need. I also do things like DNA activations, crystalline light body activations, cord cutting, and various other things too that I work with my guidance to help others with. So if there's any sort of healing or anything you need, feel free to reach out, please, because there are many services I have available, and I would love to connect and to meet more people as I'm stepping into this journey full time, and further expanding and further growing to see where the trail takes me. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you again for sticking around and hanging with me through all the ups and downs and all those weird shadow moments and all those shadow videos I had out where I was talking about the darkness a lot and really living in the darkness. I'm so proud I made it back, and I got to integrate that shadow self and stitch it into my light body, and really step into this person that is evolving and growing, and is ever going to be evolving and growing. And that's part of the self-mastery, is there's never a level of mastery, for me. I'm at that point where I always want to keep growing, learning, and changing and unraveling, because it's a beautiful process, and I love the being that I'm becoming, and I hope you love the being you're becoming, because it's an amazing thing, and this world we live in today is a beautiful place, so let's enjoy it. Anyways, that's it, guys. Much love and respect. Namaste.